Imagine the future where young Ghanaian minds shape the world.
We want our children to see science and math quiz. We want our children to see the Sci-Tech fair. We want our children to see the Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge. We want to showcase that right here in Ghana, we have very intelligent, brilliant, gifted, and talented children who are putting together inventions, who are putting together machines, who are coding, who are, getting into robotics and preparing themselves to solve some of the most complex problems that not only Ghana has, but the world has.
Without the supervision of their teachers, encourage students, especially females, to pursue careers in STEM. Provide an opportunity for the audience to interact with some prominent individuals in the field of STEM. The festival includes two main pillars: the mentorship sessions and the Sci-Tech fair. Mentorship Sessions 2024 is under the theme Empowering Young Minds, Inspiring STEM Excellence Through Media and AI. We'll connect students with industry leaders, offering invaluable career guidance, sharing their inspiring journeys and insights that bring STEM fields to life. Join us from the 7th to the 22nd of November 2024 for the mentorship sessions to learn from trailblazers from the STEM industry such as Dr. Angela Hesfitego, the HOD of Biomedical Engineering at Academic City and founding director of GH Scientific; Ms. G. Ayoko Kosa, PhD, Head of Department, Computer Science and Information Systems at Ashesi University and a Hopper Dean Fellow in Computer Science; Mrs. Louisa Oseiwusu, CEO of Jupe Money Transfer; Mr. Joseph Osei-Beku, Lead Consultant on Partnerships for African Union's Artificial Intelligence Continental Strategy; Mr. Edem Japasu, Senior Director of Strategy and Chief of Staff Global Power Generation at Cummings; and Dr. Na Adra Ajeli-Boy-Jani, Medical Doctor, Researcher and Disability Inclusion Advocate at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The climax of this celebration will be the Sci-Tech fair, which includes the exhibition and the Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge. The exhibition offers students the chance to transform classroom knowledge into real-world solutions. This will feature innovative projects from basic schools, senior high schools, tertiary institutions and scientific research institutions. Tech startups will also have an opportunity to showcase their innovative products and services for free. An interesting feature of the exhibition is the experiential stand, a hands-on space where visitors to the fair, both young and old, dive into interactive science. This stand has consistently sparked curiosity and wonder, with memorable activities which introduce children to the joy of scientific discovery, such as the Oobleck experiment at the Sci-Tech Fair 2022. The Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge, on the other hand, is a practical competition among high schools where creativity meets innovation. Here, students work on various projects from start to finish without the supervision of their teachers. This ensures that the students can independently tackle and complete their projects and develop real-world engineering skills in the process. On the 22nd and the 23rd of November 2024, in line with this year's theme, Exploring Agri-Tech Solutions to Boost Ghana's Agricultural Industry, 10 senior high schools will be challenged to address critical issues such as agricultural productivity, sustainability, and food security with innovative technology. In partnership with Pepsodent, the STEM Festival 2024 will nurture the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. Together, we are building a future where Ghana's brightest young minds will make a lasting impact. May we have a wonderful, enlightening, and fulfilling festival of science, technology, engineering, and maths. The 2024 edition of the STEM Festival is produced by Primetime Limited and proudly sponsored by Pepsodent, Jupe, Bell Beverages, YFM, and GTP.
Welcome to the Sci-Tech Fair opening ceremony. I would ask again, are you happy to be here? Yes. And let me feel it in your voice. Are you happy to be here? Yes. That's much better. I'm hoping we are going to have a wonderful time here today. And we're going to be starting as soon as possible. And you know, before everything goes successfully, we'd have to put today's event in the hands of our Creator. So I'd need a volunteer as I prepare to welcome people or some of our mentors and people we look up to, and those for which reason we are here today to the high table. Start getting ready. It's either you volunteer or I'll call you, because I want this session to be very, very interactive and as fun as possible. So I would like to, first of all, invite some people to the high table, and then we go on to the opening prayer, then we can get the day started. Are we all good with that arrangement? Still, the voice is down. Are we all good with that arrangement? So I'd like to invite our boss, Madam Nana Ikuya Mensah Bonsu, to the high table. Please, a round of applause as she comes on the high table. I would also like to invite Mr. Michael Mensah to the high table, please. Mr. Michael Mensah. A round of applause as they come on the high table. And I would also like to invite Miss Antoinette Amachi. A round of applause as she joins us on the high table. Please, a round of applause. Let it keep going until they all sit down. And those with the mic, please, I want a volunteer for the opening prayer, please. Unless I'll call somebody. A volunteer for the opening prayer. Okay, so I would like to call the lady on the fourth row from my right. Second on the fourth row from my right. Yes, you. Yes, you. To pray for us. Since you don't want to volunteer, so I want to call somebody. So you can give her the mic so she gives us the opening prayer. Could be very short. A round of applause as she gets up to give us the opening prayer. Okay. Hello, I think we want to hear her voice, so she would want to use the mic to give us the opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for a successful day. As we are about to commence with this program, we leave every section into your hands. Let the Holy Spirit be with us. Let's begin peacefully and end successfully. In Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. That's a powerful prayer. Don't worry, we'll give you one t-shirt for doing that for us. A round of applause for her, please. You should be participatory so that we can all have a very fruitful day, isn't it? At this point, I would like to, I know there are a couple of schools amongst us today. So many of you are from very distant places. You are here to join us today to, open this very wonderful event. Trust me, you'll be wowed. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to leave a mark on you forever. For those of us who have a passion for science and technology and engineering and the likes, you're going to see your colleagues from different schools solving problems in their environment with science, using engineering, using technology. And I hope by the time you all get back to your school, as I said, you'd also be looking out to be in those spaces in few months or years to come. I would like to acknowledge some of the schools that are here. If you hear your name, I would want everybody to clap for everybody. So it's not only the school that will clap for themselves. So you can just wave where you are seated. I would like to start with, you have New Bioexperimental JHS. A wave and then a round of applause. Would also like to acknowledge the presence of Wager Presby JHS. A round of applause. High Speed School. A round of applause for them. Light International School, a round of applause. Abeka JHS, a round of applause. St. Francis Xavier Basic School, a round of applause. Kotobabi 13 JHS, a round of applause. APAM SHS, a round of applause. School of Engineering Sciences, University of Ghana, are they here? A round of applause. And we also have the schools that are participating in the Innovation Challenge. We have Fijai SHS, a round of applause. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, a round of applause for them. Agri Memorial SHS, a round of applause. St. Thomas Aquinas, a round of applause. Armed Forces, a round of applause for them. Bosomchi STEM Girls SHS, a round of applause. Sunyani SHS, a round of applause. Ghana National College, a round of applause. Our Lady of Grace SHS, a round of applause. And Obuasi SHTS, a round of applause. And to add to that, they are the winners of 2021 and 2022 editions of this Innovation Challenge. Another round of applause for them. Without much ado, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors, those who made this happen, those who saw it worthwhile to give resources to make sure you are seated here today to see the wonderful things people are doing all around Ghana. I would like to mention Pepsodent. You can see them all around. A round of applause for them. They are our headline sponsor. We also have Jupe Money Transfer. A round of applause for them. Bell Beverages. A round of applause for them. And then you have GTP. A round of applause for them. And then our media partners, we have YFM. A round of applause for them. I would like to move quickly to the next item on the line. We'd like to welcome the Managing Director of Primetime Limited to give us a welcome address, Madame Nanekia Mensah-Bonsu. So a round of applause as she comes on the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Our generous sponsors, invited guests, participating schools, our consultants, exhibitors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you very warmly to the official opening of this year's Sci-Tech Fair, which also includes the Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge. These are very important programs under the STEM Festival, and as you probably already know, the STEM Festival is made up of the mentorship sessions. That is a career guidance program, STEM-related career guidance program, and then the Sci-Tech Fair, which has the exhibition, which you will be seeing shortly, and the Innovation Challenge, which begins tomorrow. The STEM Festival is more than just a series of events. We've already had 12 sessions of the mentorship sessions where people, our mentors who are doing great things in STEM-related fields, have come and shared their experiences and their trajectory with us. But today, our focus is on the Sci-Tech Fair, which begins today. The Sci-Tech Fair presents an opportunity for participants to transform their ideas into real-world solutions, demonstrating creativity, critical thinking, and a collaborative spirit. Over the next 3 days, we will witness young innovators build their projects based on our theme, exploring agri-tech solutions in boosting Ghana's agricultural industry. Up without the help of their teachers, and by using tools and materials that we will provide for them. The aim of doing it this way is to ensure that by the time this group of collaborators, of innovators, leave our program, they will go away with the skills that they have gained from working on the project. We envision that in a few years to come, we will build a pool of innovators, young innovators who know how to do these things by themselves. And by so doing, over the years, we will be, little by little, transforming Ghana through STEM projects like these, where the students themselves build the projects and go away with the skills that they have gained. And so I would like here to say thank you to the following schools for coming here to exhibit: APAM SHS, New Gbawe Experimental 1, Wager Presby JHS, High Speed School, Daylight International School, Abeka 1 JHS, St. Francis Xavier Basic School, Kotobabi 13 JHS, among others. We have Our Lady of Grace Senior High School and a number of other senior high schools exhibiting as well. And I'd like to say congratulations to the participants of the challenge. Congratulations already, because you have already gone through an initial step where you sent in your proposals and you were selected based on the criteria of the consultants. So that is already a big thing, because not everyone who applied for the competition got selected to actually come and build their projects. And so, congratulations to you, Agri Memorial AME Zion SHS, Armed Forces SHTS, Bosomtwi STEM Girls SHS, Fijai SHS, Ghana National College, Obuase SHTS are defending champions, back-to-back champions. Our Lady of Grace SHTS, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, St. Thomas Aquinas SHS, and Sunyani SHS. Please give them a round of applause. We are expecting that over the next 3 days, we are going to see wonderful things from you. Please keep in mind, participants, that this challenge isn't just about winning. It is about pushing boundaries, learning from this experience, drawing inspiration from the remarkable potential of your peers. So I encourage you to approach this opportunity with enthusiasm and with an open mind. To our audience here, who are here to view the exhibition and the challenge, I encourage you to do so with excitement and a willingness to learn something new. Ask questions, engage with the exhibitors, and immerse yourselves in the spirit of innovation. Who knows? Maybe one day amongst one of you, some of you here, there will be someone who will be doing big things and earning big patents that would be recognized worldwide. If we can do that, that would be wonderful. That is the aim of this program. So we will expect to find innovative projects, not just in the challenge, but also amongst the exhibitors. So audience here, enjoy yourselves going through and learning about science. Please make sure that you go to the experiential stand. The experiential stand is the only stand here where you, as a visitor to the program, can engage, can conduct a simple experiment under supervision. So by all means, look for the experiential stand and experience it for yourselves. Thank you very much for coming, and let's enjoy this last bit, this climax of our STEM Festival 2024 together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Nana Ekuya Mensah Bonsu. That was inspiring. and I hope we would enjoy every part of today's event, from the exhibitions to the experiential stand. You know, the interesting thing about STEM, or science, is it gives you the opportunity to solve problems. A young lady called Anne realized that buying batteries was a problem for people in underserved communities in the villages. And what did she do? With the little knowledge she has with science, she knows that you can generate electricity from heat. And she knows the human body generates heat constantly. 15 years, decided to develop a batteryless torchlight that you can use with just the heat of your hands. Once you have the torchlight in your hands, it generates enough light to serve people in underserved communities. Isn't that wonderful? Imagine the possibilities. A lot of ants are seated here today. And I know, as I said, once we leave here, we will be burning with the desire to do great things and be like the ants of tomorrow. And it's not too young for you to start now. There is a doctor, Dr. Osei, is Dr. Professor Osei. He has a childhood friend in Ghana. Fast forward, he now works in the UK as a cardiologist, doctors that works on the heart. The friend was sick and was dying. And he said, okay, let's process your visa so you can come to the UK so I can operate on you and save the situation. Unfortunately for Professor Osei, he tried countless times. The friend tried countless times to get a visa, but couldn't get a visa. Do you know what he did? He traveled all the way from UK down to Ghana in June to operate on the friend, and the friend was alive. Isn't that wonderful? That is the power of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That he was able to fly down to help his friend who had a problem in Ghana. How many of us will want to be able to help our friends in the future like this? A round of applause for yourselves. I would like to acknowledge some more people who are with us today. Dr. Na Adjoa Ajeli Boyjani. A round of applause for her. She's one of our mentors and disability advocates. I would also like to introduce and acknowledge Mrs. Sarah Quagrain. She's a marketing officer for Bell Beverages. A round of applause for her. And then at this point, I would like to generally, when it comes to these events, we have those we call consultants. At the launch, they were there. We had Dr. Lucia Japon. A round of applause. She's unable to be here today. We also have Mr. Nehemiah Atiga. He's a technology and entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Sci-Tech Limited. A round of applause for him. We also have Mr. Michael Mensah. He's a lecturer, electrical and electronics engineering at the Academic City University College. A round of applause for him. So I'll be welcoming Mr. Michael Mensah, who I just mentioned, to give us a message from Sci-Tech Fair consultant. A round of applause for him as he comes on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Distinguished guests, our esteemed educators, our dedicated mentors, our sponsors, and most especially, our brilliant young innovators. Good morning. It is with profound honor that I welcome all of you to the Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge 2024 on behalf of all the consultants and judges. This year's Innovation Challenge provides a platform where the future of Ghana's agricultural landscape is being reimagined by the most powerful force on the planet. That's our youth. We stand at a critical moment in Ghana's agricultural journey. Our nation's agricultural sector is the backbone of our economy. contributing significantly to our GDP and providing livelihood for millions. Yet, we face unprecedented challenges: climate change, limited technological integration, productivity constraints, and a need for sustainable, practical farming. But today, we are not here to discuss problems. We are here to celebrate solutions. As judges, we are looking for more than just impressive science projects. We want to see solutions that address real solutions in agricultural challenges, innovations that can practically be implemented, technologies that are environmentally sustainable, approaches that can scale and create economic productivity. And last but not the least, ideas that empower our farmers and agricultural communities. Sci-Tech Innovation Challenge is more than a competition. It is a launchpad. Some of your prototypes might become tomorrow's agricultural enterprises. Some will inspire policy changes. Some might spark national conversations about agricultural innovations. Who knows? So, let the Innovation Challenge begin. Thank you, and the best of luck to all the contestants.
That was a powerful one. Another round of applause for that talk. I was just looking around and I'm already seeing very wonderful things. And as I said, I hope today, for many of you who are lovers of science, I'm sure for you even volunteering to be here today, you love science. You want to see the various innovative initiatives these schools will be coming here to present today. In your own spaces and your houses, you can be solving little problems. I know sometimes mom would tell us, hey, don't burn my house, when you try to do some of these experiments. When I was younger, I built the microscope, and then so that I can view things myself. So every night, because I had to wait till the night to use the light, I would always be like that on my phone, on my, how do you call it? I'm supposed to be studying, but I'll do a little bit of experimentation. So I would always be like this with the torchlight. Then my mom was like, you every night you are like that. Something will come up, pew, and enter your eyes. And these are some of the comments you should expect. Sometimes it's not possible until it is done. And these days, there's so much resources. YouTube, the library, where you can learn a whole lot on how to solve basic problems. How many of you here know the importance of frogs? You've always seen frogs, a lot of money being dedicated to saving the lives of frogs. What do you think frogs do in our environment? Anybody? I said if you are very interactive, you get a gift from me. So if you have an idea of what frogs do, you let me know. Any ideas of what frogs do in our environment? People used to think they are useless, they are a nuisance. But frogs are very, very important. And how important are they? Malaria is one of the world's top killers. Imagine if we had no frogs, what malaria would have done to us with the already terrible things it is doing for us. Frogs feed on mosquitoes. So they control the population of mosquitoes. That would have wiped us out. But today we are alive today because maybe one frog ate the mosquito that would have bitten you. 2, they eat insects. Now, we eat rice in our house, we eat tuwo zafi, we eat Chris Brown. We don't know where the crops come from. Now, farmers face problems sometimes when locusts, like insects, destroy their farms. Frogs are responsible for making sure this doesn't happen always because they feed on the insects that would have gone to destroy your crops. So they play a very important role. And snakes eat frogs. So imagine if snakes get nothing to eat. They'll come into our homes and come after our small animals. So they also serve as food for some of these dangerous animals. And lastly, one of the first things to look out for if there is poison in an environment is frogs. So scientists go to the frogs, pick up the frogs, and then check the skin of the frog because it's an amphibian. It lives both in water and on land. So the skin is a very important indicator to tell if something bad is in the environment. So they can pick up some of these poisonous or dangerous things in the frog before it gets to us. So imagine what frogs have been doing to us all this while, doing for us, and we don't even know. Why am I bringing the story of frogs? Now, there is a doctor called Dr. Caleb. He's Ghanaian. He's a researcher, of course, in the field of science, and was able to discover a special species of frog. And then when he was asked, what would he want to name the frog? He was very clear. He wants to name the frog after the mother. So today, in the books of science and in the annals of history, there would be a frog that would forever be called Ephia Birago. Because when he discovered it, he decided to name it after his mother. There are scientists you hear of today who died 1,000 years ago. Ephia Birago will be heard of 1,000 years to come because he named the frog after the mother. Isn't it wonderful? A round of applause for the world of science. So I'd like to invite one of our sponsors, Miss Antoinette Amachi from Jupe, to give us an address as well. A round of applause as she comes on stage.
Thank you very much. Good morning to us all. Eureka, this has been the cry of joy and satisfaction for many an innovator since Archimedes uttered it over 2,000 years ago. And this year, Jupe Money Transfer is honored to lend its support to the year's STEM Festival, enabling the next generation of young innovators find their own Eureka moments. Through the festival's mentorship session, Sci-Tech fair, and creative collaboration, we believe this is the best springboard to launch the careers of the future leaders present. This year's theme, Empowering Young Minds, inspires STEM excellence through media and AI, draws a parallel that aligns with Jupe Money Transfer's own overarching goal to being a game changer in the fintech sector by integrating various STEM elements to create innovative financial solutions. The programs lined up for this month-long festival not only promote thought-provoking topics for discussion, but provides an opportunity to highlight the importance of media and artificial intelligence to encourage young people to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Jupe Money Transfer supports Africa's future by investing in young scientists, engineers, and innovators through initiatives like the STEM Festival. We are excited about the hands-on learning and mentorship opportunities that inspires the youth to solve real-world problems. By connecting students with industry experts and emerging technologies, we aim to spark a passion for STEM and drive meaningful change. This commitment aligns with our vision and a more connected and empowered world. We are confident that these brilliant young innovators will one day venture beyond the shores of Ghana to achieve great success. As they do, we hope they will always remember the need of their homeland and think of Jupe Money Transfer whenever they are reminded of Ghana. Here's to an inspiring and transformative event for all. Meet a need. Send via Jupe. Thank you so much.
A round of applause once again. Another round of applause. As I said, our sponsors are the reason why we can gather here. So when they come amongst us to share some of these messages with us, we should be very appreciative. With another round of applause for all our sponsors. We all believe science is interesting, isn't it? Let me hear a resounding yes. We all believe science is interesting, isn't it? There's a reason why mostly when I recommend or talk to people, I encourage them to pick science. This is not because science is the most important thing in the world, but because science needs more people. Don't worry, we'll develop science to solve that problem very soon. So the organizers should please check our background for us. That movie. The wind is very powerful. And this young boy was from a part in Uganda, I think, where they don't have water to farm. There's a lot of poverty. And hunger is about to make the whole community go kaput, like fight and war, because the politicians were taking advantage of the situation. The elder sister fell in love and wanted to travel to the university in the city, but there was no money. Unfortunately, fight broke out. But the boy told the father, I can build a windmill. I can harness the power of the wind. You see how powerful the wind is? To generate electricity, to pump water for us. The father thought he was mad. So on, he kept trying. And the father was like, I pay money for you to go to school. This nyama science thing you are doing, don't come and disturb me. But at a point, the father had to let go because he has to destroy the bicycle. Pick out the dynamo in the bicycle, cut the spokes of the bicycle, essentially. And in that part of the world, the bicycle is one of the most important things you can have as a family. So he allowed the son destroy the bicycle to build a windmill. It was a shocker. Eventually, when he saw, after the son put everything together, water from drops started coming out, and they could get water to farm all year round. A young boy of 15 years. It's a movie, but it's based on a true life story. The boy who harnessed the wind. Go and check it, watch it, and I'm promising you, you will be inspired to start looking for how to use science to change things around you. We'll be moving to the next agenda on the agenda. But then I would like to share one story, maybe final or last but one story about science. But before then, who remembers the name of the frog that was named after Dr. Caleb? Don't be shy. Who remembers the name of the... Yeah, that's one hand up there. Can I... Okay. Ifya Birago. Yes, a round of applause for her. So, for those of you who are familiar with scientific names, you know it's two names. You have the first and then the second. So, I'll mention the first. And then the second is Ifya Birago. It's Phrynobactrachus Ifya Birago. Those who don't even speak tree would think it's a scientific name, isn't it? So, scientific people doing great things. And in most platforms, when I come to speak about STEM Festival, STEM, Sci-Tech Fair, I've been wowed. And that's why I'm telling you, you're going to be wowed in today's event, tomorrow's event, and what you see on Saturday. Because you'll be seeing solutions that you see on TV being done by people in MIT, the Harvard. You'll see that there are people here in Ghana who think and are as creative as these people. Some time back, one of the schools used urine as a source of power to power a scientific device. A school developed a machine that can communicate COVID-19 safety tips to you. You can ask it any question. It will respond. It will also show you how to disinfect your hands and how to stay safe from COVID. Around the same time, within 10 hours. Another school were able to write an application that can map and identify people and trace people who have COVID right then at the event. Sometime back at the same Sci-Tech fair, we had another school. They were able to develop a very simple device that would connect with electricity and would also disperse some organic and natural substance into the air, which would repel mosquitoes and prevent mosquito bites, whilst making your environment smell really good. Imagine being able to avoid mosquito bites because you have a refreshener that has been developed to make your room smell nice. Isn't it wonderful? Now, who knows the quiz mistress? I'm sure you see her a lot. She's one of our finest engineers in this country who has been inspiring a lot of young women and men to take the path of science in this country. How many of us here have smartphones as well? Smartphones. You like sending pictures using Snapchat, Instagram? Yes. A Ghanaian by name of Dr. Thomas Mensah is very instrumental in why you can send videos and pictures through your phones today. Talk about medicine, talk about NASA, space. There are Ghanaian men and women who are doing great stuff as far as science and technology is concerned in this country and the world. Okay, we are approaching the end of today's opening ceremony. And remember, once we are out of this place, everybody will go from stall to stall, ask questions, understand what they are doing, absorb the energy. So when you go back, they'll be prepared to also be there next year or take part in the challenge. So I'll be giving some closing remarks, and then we'll have a volunteer to give us a closing prayer. And then in my closing remarks, I would like to mention a professor of mine. She's Dr. Prisla. She taught me pharmacology. Many of you can go and read about her. Pharmacology is that branch of science which studies how drugs work. If you take paracetamol, if you take an antibiotic like ceftriaxone, ceftriaxone, how it works. And this is important because there are drugs that tell you to destroy your kidney, it will destroy your liver. The pharmacologist is able to test these drugs in animals, first in cells, then in animals, record her observation, and then move on to bigger animals and then to humans. So imagine the importance of pharmacology in the space of medicine. And we have a fine associate professor, Dr. Prisla, who is leading this space as far as females are concerned in this country, the University of Science and Technology. So for those of you who will be doing pharmacy in KNUST, know very well that I'll be meeting Dr. Prisla. Let's give a round of applause to the scientists, engineers in Ghana who are doing great things. Okay. We have a first full-fledged professor of anatomy. Who knows what anatomy is? Anatomy. Okay. I would like to hear from her. Yes, you. What is anatomy? Okay. Great. A round of applause for her. You have a T-shirt from me, huh? I told you, for those of us who answer questions, you get gifts from me. It's the study of the human body. And we have Professor Abeidu, who is the first full professor of anatomy from KNUST. She taught me. She's wonderful. She's a great mother and a great advocate of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Let's give her a round of applause. I would like to invite to first acknowledge and then later invite Reverend Father Emmanuel Ofori from St. Augustine's Parish, Dodowa. A round of applause. St. Agnes Parish. A round of applause. And if he's around, I would like to invite him to give us the closing prayer for today. Please, Reverend Father Emmanuel. Okay, a round of applause as he comes on stage, please. From St. Agnes Parish, Dodowa. Thank you very much.
May I respectfully ask you to please rise as you pray in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious and merciful Father, we are grateful to you for this beautiful day that you have made possible for us. At the beginning of our function, we invited your divine spirit to inspire and to guide us. And you being the beginning and the end, you have guided and brought us to this part of our program. We are grateful to you for the opportunity that you make available to your children, particularly those who have gathered this morning, those who are going to exhibit their talent in the field of science, and for others who will be inspired that they may also pursue along the lines of science some careers and profession. We thank you for the gift of the lives of the organizers who have made this possible. We ask you, Almighty God, to continually guide us by your favors and your blessings, to bring out through us and in us the desire for the study of science, and also to be innovative in bringing forth things that will help to improve the human race. We ask you to bless us in everything that we do, and cause that the rest of this day will be under your divine protection and guidance, and that you will lead us to a fruitful and a successful end. We thank you and we bless your name, and make all these our prayers through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, and a round of applause for the Reverend Father. And as I said, at this point, let's try and make our way, as our director said, to get the best of the stands, most importantly, the experiential stand. You can ask your questions, you can, for the stands that they would allow you to touch things, touch as much as you can, so that you can go back, as I said, empowered and then motivated to do great things as far as science and technology is concerned. A round of applause for yourselves, and then I wish you all the best today. Thank you very much.
But it's not only in can't only help in agriculture. Also, there are different a lot in Ghana, like the head-on collision, and also when people are taking the curve, they actually collide with other cars. So when it senses an obstacle, it can actually turn and move away from the obstacle. It turns actually 90 degrees. It doesn't move more than 90 degrees. So when it's turning, it actually decreases the speed. So if it keeps on turning and senses obstacles, the more it turns, it decreases its speed. Then at a time, then it stops. So that's how it can prevent the head-on collision with other cars. And also with the curve, because of the line sensor, it actually curves and then moves slowly so that when another car is coming, it doesn't go fast and then collide with other cars. So when the line follower sensor is working, the ultrasonic sensor doesn't work. Because when it turns and then senses an obstacles and turns, it can get another accident. That's why the ultrasonic sensor doesn't work when the line follower is working. Follower sensor. Yes.
See how far you brought me. I'm so glad you found me worthy. I can see, I can tell, and I know it's your grace. Oh, my days, I will see.
This one is the ultrasonic sensor.
Lord, I'm here. I'm only by your grace. Thank you, Jesus, for not giving up on me. See how far you brought me. I'm so glad you found the word, Lord. I can see, I can tell, and I know it's your grace. So my days, I will see your praise. I'm so glad you found me worthy. I can see now. And here's my favorite part. Grace found me. Grace saved me. Grace made me who I am. Grace redeemed me. Grace sustains me. Grace made me who I
Okay, so when it senses an obstacle, because of the first law of motion, it's the ultrasonic sensors waves to it so that it can turn 90 degrees and move away from obstacles. And this law states that when an object continues to be in a state of or move its line until being external force is being applied for it to yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Good morning. Basic. I am the guys about at house. First of all, we chose this because we envision a home. We envision the future of our homes being innovated at a certain standard where it will be stress-free, much convenient to stay in. We are beginning with the sensors we are beginning with the sensors we added to our houses. Our house, sorry. First, this is the pressure sensor over here. Then this is our gas sensor. And we have a buzzer, then LED. Over here is a OLED monitor. Then we have a motor fan and a microcontroller here. First, we stick the temperature sensor. When heat goes closer to it, it shows on the OLED monitor and prompts the microprocessor, which makes the motor fan move. It's working. It's the heat in the room. It rises when heat in the room, the sensor senses is here. Then the starts regulating which it will continue to move until the room will become cold. Yeah. Yeah. Fan. Yeah. Then this is the gas. This is the gas sensor. It's used to detect gas leakages or heat. or alcohol also. So when I started, you you can hear the buzzer. It's alarming that it's a leakage or alcohol somewhere that can lead to fire outbreaks. And the red, the this one will also come on, which shows danger. Yes, fire. And we connected all to so we connected we connected all to a solar panel to conserve energy. So over here you can see when I cover the solar panel, the light here is off. When I move my hands, it comes on. It's connected to the slave bar. The sun isn't shining on it directly, so we are using to power our gadgets. Yes, yes. It doesn't work. Okay. We also have a air conditioning.
Everything is working. Um, because we have closed the lights down here, then I wish we could open it so that we turn it on for you guys to actually see. Everything in this house is basically working, and the regulation system, the heat regulation is not only wired to the motor in front; it goes over the house everywhere. Turn on the lights. Yes, the lights and everything are working there. We wanted to integrate spotlights and motion tracking, but we heat to the Arduino will heat overheat. Yes, if we increase, we add those things. So we have our
This is an electrical engineer or something in the process. Yes.
Great. You try with
In the filtration chamber, water has before it will go through this
Okay.
pipe and be cleaned by the alum. The reason why we did that is that when the water is being purified, not all of the water is going to come a sudden. It needs to a considerable amount before it's being purified as a whole.
Okay.
We
Okay,
don't
great.
want to waste energy. That's why we did that.
Actually, I have a question because about the smart dustbin. Because I noticed you had to plug it into the what was it? A power source. Yes, you used a power bank. If we were to scale this up to something that would be commercial, energy would be needed because we're going to have to plug to a power source. Then we also have to think about electricity bills. So how much energy would probably be needed by this to make it something that would be worth investing into, that even households wouldn't mind investing into?
Okay, so I thank you first of all. And the smart dustbin doesn't need a high amount of power to power it. The reason why we chose a power bank, when people just come to it, then it will not actually it inside. So the power gets drained faster because it's mostly opening. Yeah, so we chose the power bank to do that to us. But if we were to scale it higher, we will integrate solar panels and smart energy production system into it, like the solar panel and batteries. Yeah, that's basically what we are going to do. Yes, for outside. The indoors too will be with rechargeable batteries. The outside too be. So it's going to be something like a hybrid, something hybrid. 9 volts.
Since you are demonstrating smart house, you attach this to your smart house in your next demonstration. So you have a solar panel already in your house, right? So don't demonstrate it separately. Make it part of the smart house.
Thank you, sir.
Wait. Last thing, uh, purification system use a solar bank. Yes, but because this place, the sun isn't shining directly to where we are, we had to use a power bank in place of the solar. You can use thing.
Okay. That people can.
And our final project, the heater.
Hello. Hello.
It's not different. This one. So, but we were trying to make heater with this small blade and sticks. Yes. Yes, the wood piece. As you may know, when you connect the positive and negative terminals attach themselves, they spark. Is a fire hazard. We don't like fire hazards in our houses. Are we right? Yes. So that prevents it from touching and sparking. And the advantage of this one is less expensive and it's assembled, it can be assembled easily at home.
Thank you very much, Wager Presby Junior High School. Wonderful presentation. A round of applause for them as we go to the next stall. We are now approaching Abeka Junior High School. Abeka Junior High School. Abeka 1 Junior High School, sorry. Who is going to be presenting? Tell us what you have.
Okay, please, you have here a compost bin system. And our main aim for doing this, is to produce an organic fertilizer and also reduce the amount of organic waste sent to the landfill. When organic waste such as food scraps are sent to the landfill and they decompose, it emits greenhouse gases such as methane, which leads to climate change. And when there's climate change, we have droughts and farming, which affects us negatively. So we came up with this to reduce the amount of organic waste sent to the landfill, and also for farmers to get an organic manure in planting and avoid the use of agrochemicals. So in order for you to create this, you need a compost bin. And the compost bin, you need to make ventilation holes. You need to make ventilation holes that will help the circulation of air, which is also known as aeration. So first of all, you add your soil in the compost bin, which introduces microorganisms. Then you add your food scraps, then your brown materials. Then the microorganisms in the soil is going to degrade it. So you need some tools. You need a garden fork. So when you add all these things, you'll be able to stir it. Then you also add water to make it moist. In order for you to keep your compost, you need to keep it in a shaded area. Then every 3 days, you add more of the organic waste to it. Then you'll be stirring it. When you stir it, it speeds up the decomposition process. The reason why I keep it in a shaded area is to avoid the direct contact with the sun, to avoid evaporation. So 3 to 4 weeks, you realize that your compost is ready. It will become, you see, all your organic substance that were added to it becomes dark and crumbly. Then you know that your compost is ready. So when you have this thing, you can use to plant. Maybe you have some seeds, you finish eating pawpaw, then you add the seeds to it. You take some and add it to your soil. It also enriches the soil's fertility. It returns the potassium and nitrogen back into the soil. And it also helps farmers produce enriched food. It helps farmers produce enriched food because they avoid the use of chemicals their plants in the use of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. So this one really helps. It also helps reduce the amount of organic waste sent to the landfill. And we can live happily together in our country. Thank you.
A round of applause for them.
Please, I'm Angel. I'm Angel Dege from Abekanwan Junior High School.
Angel Dege.
Dege.
Please, my name is Halidu Abubakar Swasi.
Sorry?
Halidu Abubakar Swasi.
Alidu.
Abubakar
Abubakar.
Swasi. Swasi.
Swasim.
Pronounce it properly so
Yeah,
we can
so
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Please, I'm Comfort. I am coming from Abekawan Junior High School.
I'm Daniel Esel from Abekawan Junior High School.
All right. Nice to meet you all. A round of applause again for them.
Teacher is Sir
Okay.
Stan.
Okay.
Stan.
Stanislaus Abaka Jr.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Now we are moving to Kotobabi 13 Junior High School. Kotobabi 13 Junior High School. I can see wonderful things already. Tell us what you have, please.
Good morning. Please, we have.
Introduce yourselves. Let's know who you are.
My name is Regan Yombe from Kotobabi 13 Junior High School. Yombe. Please, this is an water dispenser in a classroom. So when you open the bottle top, the water starts to flow. It uses pressure. And it has a thermometer on it which checks the temperature of the water, whether it's cold or hot.
So is it only to check it or it actually does something? Does it cool the water?
No.
No, just.
Just tells us the temperature. Okay.
Yes. I'm Ruchinapa. I'm Ruchinapa.
Sorry?
I'm Ruchinapa.
Sorry?
Ruth Chinakpa.
Ruth Chinakpa. Okay.
I said Rujinapa. I said what is Rujinapa?
There's an air cooler. Let's take it first. For an example that a worker has been posted to a rural area and there is no electricity. The worker can just send this air cooler, put some ice blocks inside. On it, the fan will blow on the ice blocks and it produces cold air.
Okay. Okay. I can feel some cool air coming out.
My name is Abubakar Sani Samoru.
Abubakar Sani
Samoru.
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 Samori.
What I have here is a portable blender. It does not use electricity as the normal blender, but it is on batteries. When, let's say, when there's light out, you can just turn it on to blend anything you want it to blend.
Okay.
So you are fighting against doing so.
Okay.
Can you demonstrate it? Would have liked to see what is inside.
Yeah, I think.
So the motor is the one inside the blue band.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The rep from Unilever should have been here.
Exactly.
What
What we are
with
doing.
the blue band.
Exactly.
This is a RC car for
Okay.
children to play.
Okay. So essentially, a chunk of the innovation are using low power technology. The first is taking advantage of the pressure to control how water goes in and out. The second is using ice and then fan to generate cool air for people in hot environment. And then a low powered blender that can serve you even if there is no light. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful demonstration. A round of applause for them. Kotobabi 13 Junior High School.
Challenge with the water is that if you have to open it for the water to flow and it's in a classroom, you know children can
Leave it. So think of how to, make it better next time.
If they lose the top two, then it means that they'll be flowing all
Exactly.
day.
Or when it gets missing, somebody chewed it.
And as much as
Yeah.
and as much as possible, you want to make sure that people don't have to touch it because it's water. Touching the top of it, because once you open it, then it means that you have access to the water.
Yeah.
So in a classroom setting, you want to make sure that people won't use their dirty hands to contaminate the water. So
Okay.
something for you to think about.
Okay.
Yes, there's a reason behind. When you said fresh, I was like, okay.
Think about it, and next time you tell us. Okay. Thank you very much, Kotobabi 13 Junior High School. We are moving on to Apam Senior High School, who will be telling us what they have. I can already see a lot of wonderful things. Big exhibition. Who is going to be presenting on behalf of Apam Senior High School? So I'll give them the mic. You introduce yourself and tell us what you have here today. Apam Senior High School, who is presenting? Yeah, anybody can start. Just introduce yourself and tell us what you have.
So my name is Prince Henry and I'm from Apam Senior High School. We are presenting under the project Ecotech Nexus. And then the meaning of Ecotech Nexus means ecosystem and technology working hand in hand. So on my hand here we have the solar system. Then we also have the irrigation system, but we are setting it up because we have challenges in the car. And then we have the automated boats. We also have our school and house set up there. So what the solar system is doing is it's taking the position of the sun. If the sun is in the east position or the west position, the solar system tracks the position of the sun, takes the sun rays, converts it into energy, then takes it into the battery system. The battery system then supports the school by powering it for preps. See, sometimes when you have lights out in the school, you don't have any, so you have to go back to the house and sleep. So the battery system is supplying the energy to the school. Then we have this automated board, which the board is following the algorithms to the dumping site to prevent students from carrying dustbins, and then also make the school clean and also, I don't know. But the automated board is programmed such a way that it follows the line to the right dustbin section, then takes the dustbin, dumps it at the back of the carrier, returns the dustbin bag, and then follows the next algorithm to its dumping site. After it dumps the dustbin, come back to its rightful place and wait for the next section where the children are in the classroom, preventing failure in the robot operating in its action. So that's our project.
Okay, that's a wonderful one. So essentially, sun tracking solar panel, which powers a battery, which powers the school. Then a smart dustbin disposal system within the school, if I get you right, which operates when the students are in class. And then it's working within a specific algorithm which has been coded. So it goes, waits for when there is a bin, takes the bin and disposes it without interference from students. That's a wonderful one.
And with the irrigation system, it's built such a way that you see some of our teachers in the school have this backyard farm they have in the school. Okay. And then because they are teachers, they always be in class teaching the students. So with the help of the irrigation system, it sends information to them, telling them that the soil needs water. It also checks the humidity of the plant. And at the same time, too, if they are not around the plant and they want to water the plant, they can give a command on their mobile phones so that the pump will just issue the command into it to water the plant. And if the system sends an information to the user and the user doesn't reply within a short possible time, it takes the algorithm and then informs the project to water the plant without the user's information. Okay. Also, if the water is enough, the circuit will break it, preventing overusage of water, and then supply something.
Okay. Is any of this operational at this point? Can any demonstration be done so we can see any of them?
Because it was placed in the car, we have some technical.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I don't know if MD has any questions. Yeah, you can.
Please, I'm Prince Henry, and then I have my Elvis Gatti.
Thelma Owari.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if you want to ask a question.
they are not able to demonstrate, when we come back, we'll be able to see your demonstration.
Okay.
And we can ask questions.
Okay. The printing. Okay. Thank you very much for the demonstration. Apam Senior High School. Okay, so we have another explanation from Apam Senior High School. Okay.
And please, this project is called EPS, which is called Eco Power Supply. You can also call it the eco-friendly way of generating electricity with the help of 3 renewable sources of energy, which is wind, sun, and water. So in this chamber, it's called the electrolysis unit, which has 2 chambers, the ionization chamber and the hydraulics chamber. So in this place, because water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, so we mostly use the hydrogen to produce the electricity. So in this chamber, the water, when everything is being done, the hydrogen is being separated from the oxygen, which the hydrogen generates power into the battery over here. Okay. And in this section, we have the windmill or the wind turbine. So when the wind blows, the windmill rotates, which begins to generate electricity, and it's also stored in the battery over here. And in this section, we have the solar panels. So when the sun rays reflect on the solar panels, the solar cells start to generate electricity, which stores 12 volts in it. And when it stores the 12 volts, it's converted directly to the house, which also generates 240 volts of electricity. So when when the sun rays shines and everything starts working, the whole house begins to power up electricity. Yes. Please, do you have any questions?
How does your 12 volts become 220 volts?
It stores it directly. Like,
yes, but without a booster, how does it convert? How is the conversion done? Because you can't have 12 volts.
Sir, please, there is an inverter that will change the 12 volts into. So this changes this one, the 12 volts from C to
your
AC.
Your AC.
Yes.
That's what we wanted to know.
Okay.
Pressure,
Pressure.
it as well. Okay, wonderful presentation.
Yes.
Okay. Can you demonstrate anything now? Or we should go and come back?
We should go and come back, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe we should go and come back. We'll be back
Okay.
to come and see a demonstration.
Yeah, because it was in the car. So.
We are now moving to Presbyterian Boys Secondary School to see what they have for us. Who is going to be speaking on behalf of your school? Okay, you introduce yourself and then you tell us what you have for us.
So my name is Osei Uriku Dennis. I'm a 3rd year in Presbyterian Boys Senior High School. And then this is my friend.
I'm Gerald Yeboah Jamra. Jamra.
So we have before you today a piezoelectric insole. So insole meaning it's fitted for a shoe. And piezoelectric, I'm sure most of you are renowned men and women in science. So I'll not be shocked if any of you have heard about the piezoelectric concept. So this concept states that there are certain materials in nature, right, that when stress is applied to these materials, they produce electric current, right? An example of such a material is quartz, the rock. So quartz crystals, when certain degree of stress is applied to them, they're able to produce electric charge. So from materials like quartz, things known as piezoelectric plates. So these round circular rings that you can see. They are piezoelectric plates. So these things have been made from materials like quartz. So individually, the charge that these plates produce are not enough to really do anything with them. But when you put together a group of them, right, you're able to generate a charge that is sufficient enough to power appliances. So what we did was that, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Sweatcoin, right? So it's an app that pays people to work. So they're basically trying to encourage a healthier lifestyle. So we looked on that and decided to make something similar. So we know that stress applied to this place generates electricity. So something that we do that produces a lot of stress is walking. When you walk, right, you produce a lot of stress on the floor that you're walking on. So we decided that let's put some of these plates together, place them in an insole, and then put them in a shoe or footwear so that people, when walking, be able to generate electricity to charge their appliances. We live in a digital age where a lot of the things we do, we use our phones and our appliances for. And sometimes you are not able to charge them, or when you are using them at a critical moment, they can fail you, right? So what we did was that looked at renewable source of energy, and we took what we could. So you look at solar, hydroelectricity. They are very effective, but they are also very expensive. The cost of your average solar panel will surprise a lot of people. So we thought, why not do something about it? So we made this, which is just as effective as those methods, but yet it's not as expensive as them. So let me just prove to you that this works.
Okay, I can see the tab charging.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
So you also have this here.
Yes, the charging light.
So basically, what you do is that you put it in your shoe, you walk on it for a period of time, you generate stress, then that stress is translated into current. The current is then stored here in this compartment. So when it's stored here, this battery then dissipates it at regular intervals to be able to charge whatever device has been connected. We know that something like this, right, is going to have access to your skin, it's going to get in contact with your skin. So we needed a material that won't cause any irritation or any harm to your skin whatsoever. So we use silicone. Now, silicone is actually used in implants. So some surgeries use silicone inside the body. This just shows you the degree of the safety that silicone has. Secondly, it has very important properties. First thing, waterproof. Second thing, shock resistant. And the last thing is fireproof. We are dealing with electricity. I know that anything can go wrong at any moment in time. So we use a material that is shock resistant. So that when you, the user, you are buying it, you not feel like I'm just buying a ticking time bomb, right? Also, with the waterproof and fireproof aspect, if the device ends up at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know that it's going to be protected. So basically, you are getting value for your money. That's what we are trying to do.
Okay.
And we are also, through this, trying to encourage a more healthier lifestyle. The more people walk, it helps you, because when you are walking, right, you are getting access to fresh air. You can be able to look around. You get a glimpse of nature. And not only that as well, but you are also exercising the body. So through this, we are trying to also encourage people to have a healthier lifestyle.
That's a wonderful presentation. A round of applause. If I understand this, you are trying to look into cheaper alternative ways of generating power as against the very expensive solar and the likes. We went to quartz, developed a sole of a shoe that when people walk on it whilst engaging in their regular exercise, they're able to generate power to power their devices. And we saw that working. That's a wonderful demonstration. You also use the insulating cover to be silicone, a very medically compatible substance, which are used in body implants and breast implants for those who underwent surgeries and all of that. That's a wonderful one. And I'm amazed at the level of innovation here, how they're able to put different concepts together into one to use as one. But I have one question. Would this come as an additional device you put under your shoe when you want to walk, or you have a shoe line that will come, or you partner with shoe companies to put this inside their shoes? I'd like to understand that.
Okay, so this works for every shoe, every kind of shoe.
Okay.
So we are going to make a variety of sizes for different sizes of shoes.
Okay.
So the main concept is that you can just, you don't need to have a specific type of shoe to use it. That defeats the whole purpose. We want to make it like commonly accessible to anyone.
Okay. So you can place it inside your shoe and then you're on the go. A very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful explanation. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I don't know if anybody has. Engineer, I don't know if you have a question. Okay, thank you very much, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. For those who are amazed, you can still wait behind and ask them more questions as we move on to the next line, the next exhibition stand. We are looking at Our Lady of Grace Senior High School is the next stand. Who is going to be presenting? You introduce yourself and tell us the wonderful thing you have here today. Thank you.
Please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Josephine Mensa Homia, and I'm presenting our project along with
Odezwe Bruno.
I didn't hear that.
Odezwe Bruno.
Odeze.
Odezwe Bruno.
Okay. Okay. Odezwe. Okay.
Tamara Yimbono Fusaini.
You are what, Fusaini?
Tamara Yimbono Fusaini.
Let me hear you well. Tamara Yimbunu Fusaini. Okay.
So
Let's hear you.
Okay. So the project we are presenting is the OLAG ILT home automation system. And with this system, you can basically access your home appliances in 2 ways. And these ways were developed using IoT. So you can access it with your phone or your tablet or your laptop or any device. And we also have a Google Nest Mini that serves as a Google Assistant. So if I say something like, hey Google, turn on the lights should come on. So I want Bruno to test it out just for a quick demonstration of the home automation system.
Okay.
As you can see,
Oh, wow.
the lights are on. So this project has many benefits. This project has many benefits. First of all, you can use it to access your home appliances easier. And this will be very helpful for, let's say, people who are disabled. For instance, people who can't walk or their arms are amputated. And it's also very helpful for people who are aged or people to turn on their lights easier. And it also helps to regulate your water pump easily. So when you're pumping water around your house, if it's overflowing, you can just turn it off with your phone or your tablet. And if there's no water, you can turn it on easily. So water can just flow easily around your house. Another benefit of this is that it enhances security. And it also conserves electricity. So let's say I accidentally let on my lights in the house. I can use my phone to tell, oh, my lights are on, or my socket is on, so I can turn it off and conserve electricity.
Okay, please, good afternoon again. I'm here to present to you in detail the various components we have here. So for the basic, okay, I'm Bruno. Yes, please. Odezwe. Odezwe. Yes, please. So for the basic components, we have the light emitting diodes, our sockets, the TV, and the pump. Moving on to the more complex components, we have the Wi-Fi, which is here to provide internet connection between the Google Nest Mini, the smart switch, and your gadgets being used. We also have the Google Nest Mini. So the Google Nest Mini is a hardware device which uses the Google Assistant software to enable us users to use our voice to control the system. The Google Nest Mini also serves as has other purposes, like the normal Google Assistant does. You can ask it for time, you can ask it to play music for you, and various other things. Now, the smart switch. The smart switch is a model ESP32 board, which the model means that it cannot be reprogrammed. So whatever program you came in, that's how it is kept. And it has 4 channels, which are connected to the various components. So the 4 LEDs are connected to one channel. This socket is connected to one channel. The other socket is connected to another channel. And the water pump is connected to the last channel. The tablet is connected to the smart switch and the Google Nest Mini via the internet connection provided by the MiFi. This cloud-based connection enables the user to monitor his or her system remotely. And the tablet also helps the user to access the various components from the comfort of his bed or maybe his living room without getting up to go and maybe turn off the sockets or the water pump.
I have a question before you go on.
Okay.
You said something about it not being like you can't reprogram it.
Yes, please.
Why?
So, unlike an reusable programmable read-only memory, this smart switch is a module board. So, the way the company has programmed this to direct current is how we are supposed to use it. So, the main way we're able to make this function is the way we connect it.
Okay. So you use voice commands for it?
Yes, please.
Only voice commands?
No. You can access the system from your gadget, as I said.
Okay.
Let's go. So as she's fixing it, we also have the manual way of...
I'll show you why I was asking that question.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube, but my children love this particular... it's an ad that is called Rich People's Problems.
Okay.
And so it shows a man who lives in a smart house. He wakes up in the morning from bed, and then he says lights, curtains, lights, and then the lights come on. Says orange juice, and then they make him a smoothie. He says music, he goes downstairs and goes onto his treadmill to work out. And then puts it on 4, says 4. So it starts to walk. But the song that is playing in the background, the guy is singing something, he says 16. So the song, then it picks up 16. And then now the guy is running because the treadmill is going at 16 instead of 4. And he says, no, 4. And it starts to go slowly again. Then the guy sings the chorus, oh, she was only 16. And then it starts to go fast again. But because his neighbor is looking at him and his neighbor is a girl that he likes, he pretends that he's cool with it. Meanwhile, he was dying because it was going faster. And the point of it is that sometimes the technology can also be a problem. So that's why I was asking, is it only voice commands? Because this same guy had the same problem, a similar problem. He went to the dentist and they took out his tooth. So he comes back home to his smart house and he says open door, but because of his tooth, he says open door. And he says wrong voice command. It's raining, the rain is beating him, and he keeps saying wrong voice command. It says open door, and then it says play on the floor, and then the music starts to play on the floor inside the house. He's still outside, So whenever we are doing these advanced technologies, we should also look at a way to balance it so that when one doesn't work, the other one can balance. You don't suffer too much from the disadvantages of one.
Okay.
But you might look for it. When you go back home, look for it. It's on YouTube. Okay. It's called Rich People's Problems.
Please, Ralph, been able to amend the problem.
All right.
The lights come on.
Okay.
And the smart switch has the buttons in a compact area. So it can be installed maybe right beside your bed. So instead of maybe your phone is charging, it's far away. So you can just press a button over here and it also works.
Okay, that's a wonderful presentation. For those of you here, you can share with your friends. It's on the NSMQ Facebook Live page. It's also on the STEM Festival Facebook Live page. So everything that is happening here is streaming live, so you can share the links with your friends so that they can watch you.
Please.
Say something.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it looks like you're about to round up with our booth. So my colleague here is yet to present her part.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just announcing that you can tell your friend to watch this event as we present them on live on Facebook. YouTube Primetime YouTube live page is also ongoing so that they can watch and experience what the story are telling here. So let's hear you. Fuseina, right?
Husseini.
Fuseini, sorry.
So what I'll be here to present is the future work of these things. So a lot, a lot of things can be integrated to this home automation system. So it advances security systems. So cameras, alerts, and then alarms too can be integrated to this system to advance your security so that you'll be able to have very, very comfortable life living. Then it's also kitchens AI-powered kitchen system. So you'll be able to, this system will be able to suggest recipes for you, and it will also be able to check your revolution and also to control smart kitchen appliances like ovens, dishwashers, and then blenders. So the benefits of this system is that basically helps the disabled and then the elderly. It is energy efficient, and it's also geofenced in the sense that GPS can be added to this system so that it will be able to detect when the homeowner comes into the house so that it will turn on the lights or turn on other appliances. And when the homeowner leaves the house, it will also be able to turn off the home appliances. And it also makes living comfortable because it checks your schedule, and you can program it you can tell it in such a way that when is this time, at this time 6, you have to wake up. So it will set an alarm for you. And it's also be able to connect to YouTube to play music for your home preferences.
Wonderful. So an entire system of integrated AI machines designed to make life easy. Voice commands, phone controls, and an automated kitchen, automated house, control your pump, increase your security by not needing to go outside sometimes to put up these things. By giving a voice command or controlling from your phone is enough to get this done. A wonderful presentation. I don't know if anybody wants to say something else. If not, we'll be moving to the next stand. Does anybody want to say?
We would like to demonstrate the other features of the Google Assistant.
Okay. Let's watch you do that.
It's 12:33 p.m. You can use the Google Assistant to set alarms or reminders, listen to music, as Tamara said, and also just ask general questions, as Bruno has done. So it just works like your typical Google Assistant alongside turning on your home appliances.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful demonstration so far. And a round of applause for Our Lady of Grace Senior High School for their wonderful exhibition. Thank you very much. We're moving on to the next stand, and it's been wonderful so far. So we are at New Bawi Experimental 1, and then we can see a whole lot of things. So you take the mic, you introduce yourself, and blow us away. Thank you.
We are from New Barrier Experimental 1, and we did all these projects to let you understand and help explain something that happens in the body. Sometimes you ask yourself that, why is it that this happens in my body, or why do I feel this way? So let's dive in.
Your name?
So I'm John Sarah Masante.
I'm Isabella Esilfi. Please, I'm Estamenu Biakwafo.
My name is Nathaniel Amankwa.
This is a working model of the human heart. The human heart is one of the many organs in the human body. The function of the human heart is to pump blood to other parts of the body. As you can see, our heart is beating.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to take you through the circulation of blood through the heart. So, deoxygenated blood from other parts of the body flows in through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. The deoxygenated blood is then sent to the right atrium. The tricuspid valve opens up and allows the deoxygenated blood to move to the right ventricle. The right ventricle sends the blood to the pulmonary valve, which opens up to allow the blood move to the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery then sends the deoxygenated blood to the lungs so that the blood gets oxidized. When the blood is oxidized, it is sent to the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein sends the now oxygenated blood to the left atrium. The bicuspid valve opens up and allows the oxygenated blood move to the left ventricle. The left ventricle uses a very high pressure to send the oxygenated blood to other parts of the body. And you should note that all veins send deoxygenated blood to the heart, except the pulmonary vein, which transports oxygenated blood, and all arteries transport oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary artery, which sends deoxygenated blood. Do you know that the human heart can pump about 2,000 gallons of blood in a day? And your heart also beats about 3 billion times in your whole lifetime. So
Wonderful.
This is everything about the human heart. I hope you enjoyed. So as you can see, the blood is flowing through. So this is telling you how the oxidized blood moves through the heart to other parts of the body. And this one shows how the deoxygenated one moves to the lungs so that it can get oxidized. So thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful demonstration. A round of applause. For those of you who don't know how the heart works, this is a section through the heart. They are telling us how deoxygenated blood comes in from the vena cava to the right atrium, down to the right ventricle. Then it goes to the lungs where it gets mixed up with oxygen. And the only vein in the human body that carries oxygenated blood is the pulmonary vein, which comes back to the to the atrium, and then down to the ventricle. Then it is pushed out into the rest of the body. And the heart does a lot of work in your lifetime with about 2,000 gallons pumpable blood in a day. A round of applause for that wonderful demonstration. Okay, we are moving on to the next item. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so this is the sperm cell. And actually, this is for the men. Probably, maybe you haven't seen it before, only under the microscope. So I myself brought it here so that you can see it. Okay, so before you start, did you know that this tiny cell plays a crucial role in human reproduction? Well, if you want to know more, then follow me. Okay, so this cell, which is the sperm cell, has 3 main parts: the head, the midpiece, and the tail. And in the head, we can find the nucleus, which carries the genetic material, which is the DNA. And then the midpiece contains the mitochondrion, which gives the cell the energy. And then the tail helps in locomotion. So before a sperm cell gets matured, it goes through a process called the meiosis. And before it's being matured, it goes to the testis. Then after maturation, it then goes to the epididymis, where it's being stored and nourished. Then goes to the vas deferens. That's where it's being stored until ejaculation occurs. From there, it waits until ejaculation occurs. After ejaculation occurs, the sperm cell goes through the vagina. Once it reaches there, the vagina has a very acidity environment. So the semen then produces a coagulum to protect the cells. Then it reaches its coagulum. It protects the cells from the acid, because the acid might harm the cells. Okay. So once it's being protected, it reaches the cervical mucus, goes to the uterus, and then to the fallopian tube. Once it goes there, it meets the egg cell. Once it meets the egg cell, it produces enzyme to to break the outer layer of the egg cell for it to penetrate into it, and then forms the zygote. That's when fertilization occurs. Did you know that among 250 million cells that are produced, only one fertilizes an egg? Please,
Wow.
do you have any questions?
That's a wonderful presentation. Anybody has any questions?
What I'd like you to do is to find simpler ways of explaining. Let me give you an example. You said the tail is for locomotion, but maybe people here don't know what locomotion is.
Sorry, it helps it to move because it
Movement.
swims.
So, yes, you want to use the technical terms, I understand. But you should also take note of the audience that you're speaking with, right? And most people will not understand what locomotion means. Remember when you said something about, yes, what did you say? Is it quaglomo? I asked you what it was, because people will not know what it is. So I would recommend that you search for simpler ways of explaining, so that even when you use the technical term, you still use the more everyday, yes. You know, there's actually a job like that. We've had a mentor on our mentorship sessions before who is a science journalist. So there's actually a job like that. When the scientists do their research and publish their research in all the scientific jargon that their people can understand, then what this science journalist does is to take it and break it down into everyday language that you and I can understand. So there's actually a job like that. You might want to research on it. Who knows? Maybe one day from this conversation, you will take that up, to try to break this complex things down to everyday language so that everybody can understand. But I thought that was a very confident and very good explanation, demonstration. Big ups to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So everybody here, you fought a very serious battle to be in this world. 250 million sperms. And you were the one who fought the battle to get to your mother's womb, and you are here today. So a round of applause for all of us here for that battle. Yeah, I think they are going to show us another demonstration.
Please, this is the digestive system, the working model of the digestive system. So when we talk about digestion, it is the process whereby the alimentary canal breaks down complex food substances into smaller particles that can be absorbed and assimilated by the body. When the food is being injected into the mouth consists of the teeth and the tongue. The teeth will masticate the food, and the tongue will roll it and soften it into a ball-like form called a bolus. The salivary gland secretes salivary amylase or the ptyalin. It will convert the starch in the food into maltose. After that, it will move through the esophagus through a process called peristalsis, where the esophagus expands for the food to move from the mouth into the stomach. When it moves into the stomach, the walls of the stomach, called the gastric glands, secrete gastric juice containing the hydrochloric acid and the protease. The hydrochloric acid will kill the germs in the food. After that, the pancreas will secrete pancreatic amylase on the food to convert the remaining starch in the food into maltose. It will move to the small intestine. It is where digestion is being completed. The walls of the small intestine secrete varieties of enzymes called the succus entericus. The succus entericus contain the lactase, the maltase, the sucrase, and the epsin. The maltase will convert the maltose into glucose. That's the end product of carbohydrate food. In the small intestine, we have the ileum, and the ileum have a finger-like projection called the villi. The villi will absorb the food nutrients or the glucose into the human body cells. The undigested one will move to the large intestine. In the large intestine, we have something called the colon. The colon will absorb the excess food in the undigested ones, and the undigested one will move into the rectum. The rectum will hold the food until the anus releases it. This is the working model of the digestive system. The food is being injected into the body. It will move through the esophagus through a process called peristalsis to the stomach and to the small intestine. The undigested one will move to the large intestine, and the rectum will hold it until the anus releases it. This is how the digestive system works in our body. Thank you.
Wow, a round of applause for him. So the next time you're eating kinke and fish, know that this is the process it goes through from the mouth, esophagus, to the stomach, to the small intestine, then to the large intestine,
ones,
and
to
then
the large
extraction of
intestine.
water, and then to the rectum, which holds it for some time before
Until the
releasing
anus.
it. Then you tell your mom or dad, maybe make a toilet. That's a wonderful explanation and simplifying of science. A round of applause for them again. And then we'll be seeing their last demonstration from New Bawi Experimental 1. Let's hear what you have.
Okay, so today we are going to
I
travel.
would like to know you.
Okay, my
Yeah.
name is Esther Menubi Akwafo.
Okay.
Today we are going to travel to the solar system. I want to first talk about the myth about the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. Have you watched this movie by name Apocalypto, when they said the gods were angry, so they need to pull out human hearts to please the gods and everything? It's never true. So in the solar system, the earth revolves around the sun in elliptical paths. The sun is what gives us light to see, as the earth revolves around it. Light rays from the sun travels to the earth in a straight line since the sun is stationary. Anytime an opaque object intercepts or comes in between the rays from the sun and then the earth, a shadow is formed. Some planetary objects like the earth have moons that move around them in space. Can you see that at a point in its motion, the moon can come in between the sun and then the earth? When this happens, the moon's shadow, which is a region of darkness, will be casted out on parts of the earth's surface. This is what we call an eclipse. An eclipse is a phenomenon or an event that occurs when light from one celestial body is totally or partially blocked from reaching another body. Eclipses are also based on the rectilinear propagation of light. There are two main types of eclipse. We have the solar eclipse and then the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse occurs when the moon comes in between the sun and then the earth. The moon is going to block the sun rays and cast out a shadow on parts of the earth. The shadow casted by the moon is in two forms. We have the umbra and then the penumbra. People in the direct region of the eclipse will experience the umbra, and people slightly out of the region of the eclipse will experience the penumbra. In certain cases of the solar eclipse, the moon is positioned further away, such that the umbra doesn't fall directly on the earth, but the penumbra falls on the earth. This type of eclipse is called the annular eclipse. Now, with the lunar eclipse, the earth comes in between the sun and then the moon. The earth is going to block the sun rays and cast out a shadow on the moon. In this type of eclipse, the moon, the shadow casted by the earth has both total darkness, the umbra and the penumbra. So the moon seems to be bathed in a deep red light. That is why you hear people calling it the blood moon. Okay, so with the solar eclipse, some viewers will experience the umbra and the penumbra, and some viewers will not experience the eclipse at all. This is because the moon shadow is not big enough to be casted on all parts of the earth. Okay, so facts about the eclipse that occurs. Do you know that on March 29, 2006, Ghana was among the countries that experienced the total solar eclipse? Also, the longest duration of every solar eclipse is 7.5 minutes. And for the lunar eclipse, it can take at least 2 to 6 hours. Safety precautions for the solar eclipse is that it is not safe to view it directly with your eyes. It is advisable to wear specially designed filters like the eclipse glasses. Thank you.
A round of applause for that wonderful demonstration. So the next time you see an eclipse, it's not because elephant is angry or the gods are angry. It's because light has been blocked from reaching either the earth or either the moon. Thank you very much for that wonderful demonstration. And then we move to the next table. I think the last but not the least table, Daylight International School. We are coming for a demonstration from your school. Please introduce yourselves and tell us what you have for us today. Daylight International School. Thank you.
Okay. Please, good afternoon, our panel of judges and fellow students. So over here, we have a prototype bin that is meant, So my name is Emanuela Okora. I'm a student in history from the Daylight International School.
I'm Akosie Isi, and I'm also of the Daylight International School, and I am in JHS2.
My name is David Papa Kweku Gezi, and I am JHS3 from Daylight International School.
My name is Nakwale Koti. I'm in JHS3 and I'm also in the Daylight International School.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. So our project is on waste management. As we all know, waste is the unwanted part of a product that is thrown away after use. So our project is known as the Eco Waste Management Project. Now we have designed bin. One may ask, what is eco waste or the word eco? So the eco waste management simply means reducing the impact of waste in the environment. So I'm going to leave this topic of the mechanisms and components that came together to form this bin to my colleague.
Please, thank you. So if you can please move a little. Over there we have a solar panel. This is a renewable source of energy, so we use it to supply power to our eco bin. So the solar panel converts sunlight into energy. When it converts, the energy is sent to this mechanism here. This is a solar charger. The solar panel takes in 20 volts of energy, but this battery only needs 8.4. So the solar charger steps down the energy to 8.4 to avoid causing damage to the battery. Over here at the front, you see we have a certain appliance here. This is an obstacle sensor. It's made up of an infrared sensor and a photodiode. Unfortunately, due to bright conditions, we are not able to use them as they are very sensitive to light. So instead, we are going to use this switch over here. So when this obstacle sensor is supposed to notice you standing there and open the lid, but as I said, due to light factors, we will not be able to use it. The obstacle sensor will send a signal to the transistor over here. The transistor will decide whether to allow the current to flow or not. A transistor has two purposes. That is as a switch as an amplifier. This, for now, we are using this just as a switch. But if our project is accepted, we'll probably use it as an amplifier as well. So when this transistor allows the current to flow, the battery sends power to the switch. And when you flip the switch, it allows the motor to run.
So when you open the dustbin, over here you see a motor. The motor rotates, allowing the bin lid to open and close. Over here we have a relay. The relay is supposed to allow the motor to rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise, allowing the bin to open and close. And so for our project, as my colleague said, the obstacle sensor is supposed to sense an obstacle or a human being and then open on its own.
but due to the bright conditions, it's not able to open. And we have a switch here, which also allows the motor to rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise. So one may ask, what's the LED doing here? An LED is a light emitting diode, as everyone knows. Over here is the LDR, a light dependent resistor. When the LDR detects darkness, it's supposed to send a signal to the LED, allowing it to emit light or light up. So in darkness or during the night time, the LED detects the darkness and then allows the LED to light up to enable vision.
I'll be open for questions, if any.
Okay, a round of applause for their demonstration. They are asking if anybody has any questions. A smart system which relies on light emitting diodes, photosensitive devices, as well as light dependent resistors to operate. If anybody has any questions, please, they would want to answer your questions.
Okay. I thought you were going to demonstrate us for us to see.
My colleague actually said that because of the light conditions, sensor is not able to work properly. So as of tomorrow, we'll try and see if we get a darker place so that our work will work properly, our products will work properly.
No, but going forward, you could just cover it. Once you cover, you create that dark space for it to work. Because the LED is so sensitive. The LDRs are so sensitive that we just...
But then
you close in with your hand, it should be able to
the problem
automatically
is that
pick.
when there's too much darkness, then the obstacle sensor will also not work. It needs to be in natural dark conditions.
Okay. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Daylight International School for their demonstration. We'll now move to the last exhibition booth. It's the School of Engineering Sciences, University of Ghana. Here we are, University of Ghana, School of Engineering Sciences. I can see a lot, and I'll be handing over the mic for them to tell us what is it we are seeing here. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Michael Kojo-Fepe from School of Engineering Sciences, and today we are presenting a whole lot from engineering. But basically, I would like to talk about engineering. We have 5 departments from engineering. That's agric engineering, material science, computer engineering, biomedical engineering, and food process engineering. So today we have process in our midst, and here are my colleagues, Franca, Mr. Emmanuel, Rodalyn, Dr. Jessica, and Mr. Joseph, also behind us. So they will be demonstrating the products we have here so far.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Emmanuel, as the gentleman said. This is food process engineering. So I'll talk a little bit about the department. So food process engineering simply means we are a department that we are into design and modeling of food processes and also machines that can convert food into from raw material stage into a finished product stage. So basically that's what we do. And we have different branches or different aspects of food process engineering. We have product development. So most of the foods you see outside, we are the ones that come up with those products. All these bottled drinks, these canned foods, anything that is like a product, we are into making of those things. So that's one side of it. And we are also into food waste valorization. It simply means that we are making use of food waste. What you, a lame person, will refer to as a food waste, we see an importance in that waste. For instance, we can extract pectin from orange peel. After taking your orange, most of you will just discard the peel, but we can extract pectin from it, and pectin has a lot of health benefits. Okay. Another waste that we make use of is plantain peel. When we are done peeling our plantain, we discard the peel, But these peels are also what? They contain fiber that we can add to our flour to bake pie, bread, and all of that. But what we do is that this peel also contains tannins. So we try to reduce that tannin concentration because the tannins are not healthy for human consumption. So we reduce it, then what? We dry them, we cut them into pieces, we mill into very fine powder, then we add it to our flour to bake our what? Our foods. So that's one side of it. And then we have another aspect of food processing here, that is packaging. Actually, there's a project ongoing where we are using rice husk to absorb ethanol to extend the shelf life of tomatoes. So after we are done with that project work, we'll come up with something like a tea bag where we'll pack rice husk into it, and then we'll make sure we let it absorb ethanol. Then we'll hang that rice husk in a food package that contains tomatoes. Then we assume that at every point in time there will be what? A release of the ethanol to extend the shelf life of the tomatoes. So it can stay on the shelf for a very long time without going bad. Because most of these food products that we harvest, they end up going bad within a short period of time. So a lot of post-harvest losses are going to what? Okay. So we are trying to minimize post-harvest losses. So there are a lot of things that we are into as a department. But today, for the purpose of this exhibition, we'd like to talk about just the basics and a few of them. So we have dried fruits here. We have dried okra, tomato, pineapple, mango, and the rest. We used a method referred to as freeze drying. So normally the drying that we are exposed to are the solar drying method, where we place our food under the sun for it to dry. And we also know about the hot air oven method or dehydration method, where we put it in an oven and then at a certain temperature, the moisture comes out and all of that. But this method, it first converts the water in the food to ice. It freezes it. Then it uses the method of sublimation to dry the food. As in, the ice in the food is converted directly into vapor without going through the liquid phase. Because what happens is that the normal hot air oven drying, the water is converted back. But this very one, all the water is extracted. So the moisture content is very low. And when the moisture content is low, we all know that microbes cannot grow and multiply. So the food can stay on the shelf for a very long time without going bad. So these foods here, if you're able to package it very well, it can stay for more than 2 years. We have a freeze-dried egg powder. Today we are going to fry some of this egg for you, and you taste it. Then you compare it to the normal eggs that you have been frying at home, the raw one that has not been processed. You realize that the color, the taste, and the mouthfeel is intact, because this method of drying, it does not compromise the quality of the egg or the food sample. But the hot air oven, most of the time, the quality is compromised. Sometimes you can have something like local hotspots. You see some burns in the food sample after drying. Sometimes too, these foods, some are very heat sensitive. So after drying, you compromise a lot of these nutrients. So at the end of the day, you have compromised the quality of the food. And we are much more concerned about food quality. So we chose this method of drying because it retains the quality of the food. Okay, so we will demonstrate that one to you. We have some food samples here, and then my colleagues will share it to you, then you have a taste of it. We can also, someone will ask, how do I eat these food samples? Like, let's say you have okra. How do I apply it in my cooking? You just add water to it. We call it reconstitution. You just add water. And when you add water to it, you realize that it has the same, you can have a feel of it. You get the same slimy, you can have a feel of it. The same slimy texture back. Which means that the drying did not compromise the quality of the okra. So we are what? We are extending the shelf life. So if you want to have okra and store it at home, in your homes for a long time before you use them, you can apply the method of freeze drying using the freeze dryer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the egg that has been dried, they just added water, and it's just back to what it used to look like. So essentially, a drying system that doesn't compromise on the nutrients, the integrity, the structure of the substance itself. So they are frying some for us to taste. I'll taste, Papa. So basically, this stand, School of Engineering, specifically Food Processing Engineering Department, telling us about the various applications of their techniques. They talked about being able to extract pectins from waste that most of us would just dispose. They talked about even plantain peels. They can remove the excess tannins, which are not so healthy, and then make the fiber available for pastries and then foods. And you know the importance of fibers in our food. And then they also talked about freeze drying, which is what they are demonstrating now, which is better, a better alternative to heat as a way of drying. We all learned from primary or JHS that heat spoils proteins. So imagine using heat. So this is a better alternative to using heat for drying. I can't wait to taste that egg. It's already looking very nice. And these foods can be saved for more than 2 years because the moisture content is extremely low. I think every part of this country should have one of you, particularly the food basket of the nation, where a lot of oranges, a lot of mangoes, everything go waste. And then we still cry that there is food shortage, there is hunger in Ghana. So this is wonderful, this is brilliant. And smell what I'm smelling. It still smells just like chibom. Yeah, chibom. On campus, this is the go-to food for most students after gobe. Okay. So what's that?
So this is our pineapple.
Okay, freeze-dried pineapple.
Yes, please. So you can try it and see.
This is good. This is really good. So the freeze-drying, do we contract you to do it? Or you are developing a device so we can have them in our homes? Okay. It tastes really good. Okay.
You are yet to commercialize that. You can try. All right. So
I'm
our egg
testing
is
the egg.
ready.
It's very hot.
Anyone wants to try?
Are you sure this is not fresh egg? It's been dried.
Yes.
It tastes exactly like.
So you could try.
So it just freezes all its essential nutrients and gives it back to you when you add water.
Yeah.
This is impressive.
All right.
This is really impressive.
Please, where's the director?
Exactly. Can I have the pineapple again?
Our egg is ready. So try it. So this is the freeze-drying egg.
Yes. It was powder and then they added a bit of water, but it tastes exactly like it's eggs that you just broke from the shells. This is impressive. As we said earlier, this is what is expected when you come to Sci-Tech Fair. Your mind gets blown, you see advanced technology right before your eyes, and even get to taste the product from those technologies. Go around, ask questions, get familiar with these technologies, and then who knows, maybe we would have the next big scientist from amongst us. Which is this? Oh, great.
This is your mango.
Oh, God. This is good. For me, I've already gone round, so I'll get a chair and sit here. I want to be here. Okay, our engineer wants to ask a question.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so just go ahead and use it.
That's all. You are good to go.
I'm not leaving here.
Who else wants to try the eggs?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Where do you store it after it is dried? Where do you store this? Yes. Is it gone back to the freezer or where do you keep this?
You store it on the shelf. Okay, but you must make sure that the packaging material that you select, it does not allow entry of water and oxygen.
Watertight sealed.
Yes, and it should be airtight.
Airtight, sorry.
Yes, exactly.
So when you visit School of Engineering Sciences, we are ready to take you through all this process, how it's been done practically. And we have another experiment also we would like to show you. So my colleague Rodalyn will... Yes, what that word means.
Okay, so enzymatic browning. Just as you can see, we've cut some apples inside of the juices. So we have different juices. We have orange, pineapple, sucrose solution, that's sugar and water. We even have salt. We have vinegar, yes. So basically, have you realized that anytime you cut apple, within a couple of minutes, 1 or 2, it starts to become it becomes brown. So we realized that when you use solutions, acidic solutions, like basic ones like orange, pineapple, when you dip the apple inside of it, it slows down the reaction, basically because it's changing the environment. The enzymes need to be able to work in an environment that will cause the browning. But when you dip the apples in acidic solutions, it slows down the reaction. So if you have apples at home, you can always try this. You can use simple salts, and you realize that it has been preserved. It still looks fresh and normal. Even orange, lime, vinegar, yes, you can use that as well. Apart from apple, there are other foods that when you cut, it starts to brown, like yam. So you can also use any of these acidic solutions to prevent or slow down the enzymatic reaction. Yes. My colleague will also show us how to make mayonnaise.
Whitish stuff on bread.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to demonstrate to you how to make homemade mayonnaise. And then for those of us who are not much aware, mayonnaise is oil in water emulsion. An emulsion is what? A combination of two immiscible liquids. That's oil-based and what? Water-based. We know that they are not mixable. They can't mix together. But when you bring them together and you add, what's the word? Egg yolk to it. It's what? It makes it able to what? To come together and stay uniform and become homogeneous or become one. So that's the whole idea of making of mayonnaise. So we have our oil base and we have our water base. And the water base is white vinegar. And then the oil base is our normal vegetable cooking oil. And since it is oil in water emulsion, we'll put the oil water in it first before we'll put the oil in it. Because oil and water simply means that oil is what? The dispersed phase and water is the continuous phase. Continuous phase simply means that it is the phase that in which the other component is dispersed. And the dispersed phase is what is actually being dispersed. So if it's oil in water emulsion, it means the water must be present. Then you disperse the oil in the water. That's what it means. So that's what we are doing. Then we just add our paprika, that's dried pepper. We add our mustard and little salt, little sugar. Then you add your oil in bits so that they can mix together. Remember, it's what? Two immiscible phases. The white vinegar as the water base, and then our vegetable cooking oil as the oil phase. So you're adding it in bits till what? It forms what? A homogeneous what? Solution. Then we have our mayonnaise.
Wow. Yeah. That's a great one. As you can hear, they are explaining the processes that are used to make things like mayonnaise that we love so much. Largely, as he explained, is two liquids that would normally not mix that are made to come together. Yeah. So you have the water, which is the landlord of some sort, and then the oil, which is the tenant. Exactly. So continuous phase and dispersed phase, if I understand it. Definitely. So largely, they coming together as landlord and tenant is what gives us, how do you call it, mayonnaise. So. And the one that magic is called emulsifier. Okay, it's the middleman. Okay. Oh, great. So see the egg yolk as the connection man who connects both the continuous phase, which is the water, to the dispersed face. Remember, they don't mix. So if you have a connection man binding them together and it's in the middle, then they are formed to form something, which is what we enjoy as mayonnaise.
Exactly.
That is impressive. I can see it forming already.
Yes.
Incope bread biana.
Sharp. So we can prepare this.
As I said, wonderful things happening here. For those of you around, Bell Beverages is doing a testing. The Bell Mo product is under the stem. You can go and taste the product. It's one of their new products. It's under the canopy. You can branch there, go and test it, and tell us what you think. They are there for you. You branch there. You just tell them you want to taste some. It's the Bell Mo from Bell Beverages. Whilst we wait for mayonnaise to get ready. Whilst at it, can I ask a question? Is it possible to make this process faster by using any of those things?
Yes,
it's possible, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll make it faster.
I'm in Drufie.
Yeah.
Let me get home.
But with that one, normally you have to use a cooked egg.
Cooked egg.
Yes, if you are using
the yolk or the whole egg.
You use the whole egg.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Because with this raw egg yolk, when you use a force, like you apply a force to it, this blending actually can destabilize the bond that is created between the oil.
The connection man can fall off.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Oh, wow. Yeah, gradually. So any oil can be used?
Yes,
any edible oil?
Edible oil.
Okay.
As our fat base.
As we are here, those of you around the Bell Beverages table can go for the Bell Mo testing. Their stand is just visible behind us. You can go to the stand to taste their Bell Mo product. Somebody is asking if there is salt added.
Yes, please. You add salt to it. Yes, the salt actually strengthens the bond between the connection man
and the two other guys.
Yes.
Okay. Because food is very important.
Very, very.
It's so important that it could cause wars when it's not available, when there's scarce resources. And we produce so much and they go to waste.
That's true.
So if we have technologies like this available in the food baskets of the nation, I think we could be food sufficient.
That's true.
Franca is doing a yeoman's job.
Yeah.
And I noticed you've been going in one direction so far. Is that a requirement? These are the trade secrets we must learn. Before you go and change the direction and before you know. She's tired. Oh, wow. This is mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. Yeah. Not yet, eh? Oh, okay. No problem. I'll go and buy bread. Okay, that's fine. So those of us watching, this is live on the NSMQ Facebook live page as well as the STEM Festival live on Facebook. We also have this on Primetime YouTube live page who are watching and joining us online. This is the Science of Engineering, School of Engineering Science, University of Ghana stand. And they are showing us wonderful, wonderful things. And they just produced mayonnaise. So think about the business opportunities For those of you who are entrepreneurs, you can start doing your own mayonnaise right from home. Exactly. And with Food and Drugs Board, you are good to go. Exactly. Thank you very much. This is why we are here today. Wonderful things, wonderful exhibitions. Take your time, go around, go to all the stands, speak to people, ask questions, eat pineapple, eat mango. They are all here so that we can have a full experience of why we are here today. Thank you very much, School of Engineering. We really appreciate it. A round of applause for them. Thank you very much.